Good morning, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to another trading session. Well, it is Monday, so I hope you had a good weekend. I hope your weekend was good, and I hope you enjoyed it at the fullest. Um, Meanwhile, we will have I guess it will be an odd week, since tomorrow will be holiday bank on the United States, and we have plenty of scheduled news driver for the week, which are CPI, PPI. But since we are inside of a government shutdown, and we are still inside the government shutdown, I don't think we will have those news drivers. So we will have to be patient about it, and eventually not expecting for them to deliver. They are scheduled. If you go on to the Forex Factory or some economic calendar, they are scheduled for, I believe, Thursday and Friday. I'm not sure about it, but you might find them there, but I'm not sure if they will honestly deliver. Just like NFP, I was expecting NFP to deliver last Friday, but it didn't happen. So yeah, it might be an odd week without any news driver, and the market may do whatever it wants to do without getting some sort of a manual intervention. So be content with it. Honestly, don't accept much from the market, and yeah, you probably have to go for some low-hanging fruits this week. If we don't have any sort of news, we might expect not have a large movement to the upside or a large movement to the downside. So I would advise you to keep that in mind as well. So yeah, let's get straight into today's price action. So far, we are inside of a consolidation since 4 a.m. It's been consolidating inside this range, as you can see right now. But let's go a little bit here to what happened on Friday. So on Friday, NY session delivered to the downside. It gave us a new previous week's low, a new low for the week. I mean, so which is our previous week's low right now. These are the quadrants for the weekly wick, and the PM session. I guess it happened straight in the final moments of the New York kill zone, New York AM kill zone, and we delivered to the upside with quite strength, with a lot of strength and a lot of speed to the upside. So it was, since lunch to the end of the session, it was a straight move to the upside. We were able to catch some of it with a micro contract here. Since I was outside of my time window, I just played it safe with a 1 micro, and yeah, I took this, as you can see, I took this retrace here and close here. I believe it was 8:30 open or 9:30 open with these relative equal highs here. So I closed it here since it was played on the New York PM session as well. And since I usually don't try the New York PM session, I decided to just keep it safe and not demand a lot from it. But yeah, it kind of retraced higher. So here we can see that price kind of accumulated during the 6th of, in between the 6th and the 7th of November. It kind of accumulated and manipulated down here and then distribute higher. And it's, as you can see here, it's continuing to distribute higher, I guess. So, but I will we will go for it in a couple of minutes. So we formed the wick, the daily wick, which are these quadrants here, and we opened with a new opening gap, new week opening gap here as well, and price kind of retraced a bit to the midpoint of it. Kind of Asia moved it to the upside. It kind of traded down below this event horizon here. London manipulated to the downside and boom, moving once again to the upside, taking out event horizon and eventually reaching for this new week opening gap right now. So as higher targets, we have Thursday's high, which has some confluence with not the previous week's low, but this week's. I guess it. God damn it! What did I do? Okay. I guess it's this week's low. So we might go and immediately rebalance all this, touching this previous week's low. But looking into a daily chart, you can see that we are trading into this small tiny order block, and above this Thursday high we have these relative equal highs, which are quite interesting as well. These ones right here. But yeah, in order to go to the upside, I would like to see some lower purge of liquidity first, and not the vice versa situation that's giving us right now. Hugo is asking me if I trade gold. No, brother. I just trade ES. It's micro contracts, as you can see here, but I can look at gold if you want to. Just stay for a while, and I might look at it later if you want to. So I can give it a shot to read what I'm expecting for gold price action. So in terms of bias for today on ES, I really would like to see a drive lower, targeting London lows, eventually Asia lows as well. There's a lot of liquidity here, as you can see. We already took out London highs. So in terms of liquidity to the upside, if price really continues to the upside, that would not be an interesting case for me, and I would probably let it run without taking any interactions with it. But I really would like to see some willingness to come down, because we still have pre-market lows, London lows, eventually Asia lows, and all this NWOG. I would like to see price coming back to this NWOG just a little bit, despite on the higher time frames. I'm still bullish, of course. But in terms of intraday bias, I would like to see some willingness to come a little bit down. And since we are moving to the upside right at the open, it kind of goes with what I'm thinking it will happen. So I will see how far we can manipulate price to the upside, and then eventually look for weakness into as soon as we trade inside this NWOG or this 1 hour fair value gap bearish one, or eventually take out Thursday's high and then eventually reach for some sort of start to looking for some sort of weakness to the downside. So let me zoom in a little bit here. Just let me answer here to Google. Don't trade gold, but I can look at it later. So let me mark 9:30 open. So far, this up close candle is the 9:30 open. We have our first presented fair value gap right here. And price is moving to the upside without taking any liquidity here. Let me take a look at NQ. NQ doing the same. So pre-market lows are still intact. So that to me is kind of suspicious for a continuation higher. This might be the manipulation higher that will end the move to the upside. So let's see. Let's see if we will have that manipulation higher, or if this is just a continuation of the distribution to the upside. Where is, let me just, yeah, midnight open is here. Event horizon. Okay. So right now we are in a deep premium, as you can see here. So we are above all these opens. Nice push. Price really pushing here. Let me just see how far we can go, projecting this last swing low to the upside. So implied fair value gap, implied fib retracement, so -2 standard deviation. Yeah, this is quite accurate here. -2 standard deviation, it came back, retraced into the silver bullet zone, and is now reaching for -4 standard deviation. So if this is really a Judas swing to the upside, and if this is really the manipulation, we will probably end around these levels here and probably reach for lower liquidity next. But if price really holds inside this NWOG and really keeps climbing higher, I will just let it do what it wants to do, and I'll try to do anything with it, because I'm not feeling safe taking a long with all this liquidity here down below. Let me go to the regular trading hour. On the regular trading hour, we left a big opening range gap as well. We still have all this liquidity on a regular trading hour session to take out as well, which has some confluence with those relative equal highs that we marked. So let's wait. We'll just mark the 950 to 1010 macro. 950 to 1010. So yeah, like in terms of high time frame, still bullish, of course. But on the intraday, I would like to see some willingness to come a little bit lower, taking out some liquidity, because right now everybody's making money since the open, and that usually doesn't happen unless we are in a rush to to fulfill buy side liquidity targets. So this is the first pit stop on price. It kind of reached for the 1 hour bearish fair value gap here. So I would like to see some weakness starting to happen on price. Let me just check who's the strongest right now. So the Dow seems like it's starting to lose some strength here. So NQ seems to be the strongest. NQ the strongest, YM the weakest, and ES might be the one that's in the middle. So price is still pushing here. On the 15-minute, it's a big green candle so far. Yeah, I was checking for SMTs as well, but no SMT. It could eventually drive price like this. Yeah, maybe this is one of these sessions where price will just leave all this liquidity, and but it's still early. We are still 14 minutes. So I will probably mark some quadrants here on this big NWOG. Since it's a big range, I want to see it just like a grade. There we go. Just to see where it can eventually Castro. Castro, what's up? Can you give your opinion about Vino? What's Vino? What's that? Is it some crypto? Might be an altcoin. Let me just check. VCU, right? Well, there's not much to see here on Vino. I wouldn't do nothing with this, honestly. It's a dead coin. It's a dead coin who will just pump to generate some liquidity and then give you some new lows, and it will just like like any other altcoin, it will give you um, new lows from time to time. And yeah, I wouldn't touch it, honestly. I really wouldn't touch it. Um, you should search for the suicidal roller coaster. It's a theory on market behavior, and this is the exact example of that theory, where you have those pumps. And yeah, those pumps are usually followed by a new low, always like that, and it will do it until it reaches zero, probably. Well, it can pump, but I wouldn't put money on this, honestly. This is just junk. It's nothing worth it, honestly. I wouldn't put it. If you want to make 50%, just go to a casino and gamble on a casino, because that's almost the same thing here. It can eventually pump, but Pixel might be the same. Yeah, same story. Same story. I wouldn't put money on it, honestly. It might, but it's like a lottery. You can win, but those altcoins tend to zero, so they will offer you a new low every day, every now and then. Right now, nothing. Right now, nothing. Just Bitcoin if you want to, but I would wait for a harder retrace. So seems like it's happening here. The manipulation that we were expecting has ended as soon as we moved into this 1 hour fair value gap. So let's see if the first presented fair value gap will somehow hold here, or if we will go to the downside. So as you can see, it reached for -4 standard deviation. We are inside a macro. So let me just see what the Dow is doing. Yeah, moving lower as well. Let's see if we can get a retrace to the upside. What am I investing? Carter, I can't give you any financial advice, brother. I'm just here for educational purposes. So if you're looking for someone who will give you financial advice, you just have to consult somebody else, brother. I can't give you that information. I'm just here for educational purposes. And if you want to learn something, yeah, that's great. I'm here for it. Yeah, seems like the order block is forming here. 6.5. I really would like to see some willingness to disrespect the first presented fair value gap here. It seems like it. I really didn't like how we treated the first presented fair value gap. NQ is pushing here. Yeah. Yeah. Not liking this. Let's see. So far the order block is being respected here. But I would like to see a down close candle here below these lows. But it seems like it's not giving it. Let's see. Yeah. NQ is still pushing here. Yeah. NQ pushing to the upside, so it will stop me out probably. Yeah, there we go. Stopped out here. So yeah, I should have waited a little bit more here. Seems like price wants to keep creeping higher. So it was not able to close below it, close below the NWOG or below the midpoint of the first presented fair value gap. So it seems like it will be driving higher towards these highs. Let's see if we can get a minor retrace here. Mm. Mm. Interesting. Yeah, seems like it will go lower from here. We were probably right, but we have an SMT here with NQ. Let's see if NQ will eventually go lower or if it wants to keep grinding higher. Let me just check YM once again. Yeah, YM is kind of weak. Yeah, basically the same idea here. We have an SMT in between ES and NQ. We are inside a macro. Yeah, but NQ is not like letting us display slower. Yeah. Let me take a look at YM once again. Yeah, YM really moving lower. It's the weakest here. But ES not doing the same. Really behaving kind of strangely here. And I'm not sure why am I missing some candles in here. Yeah, NQ keeps pushing higher. Yeah, this point I don't know if it is worth it to hold it. Yeah, price is not able to close below, so I rather take this off. We'll give it just one more chance here. Yeah, not worth it, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, previous week's low here, this one might be the target. NQ moving higher once again. Not sure why these candles are missing here. Well, at this point, I will wait a little bit more just to see if price really wants to do what we were expecting or if it will just keep grinding higher. At this point, I think we will move higher. Yes, Pablo, same opinion. Same opinion. I was trying to short this, honestly. Um, but NQ is still pushing to the upside. I'm not sure why. Let me just refresh this. Yeah, these candles here are missing. Not sure why. But yeah, I was hoping for, I was expecting for a manipulation here to the upside, and then eventually coming a lower or midnight open, London lows. But we are still somehow inside this range now. Shall we go now? Let's see. This might be the last attempt here. Yeah, NQ is still pushing. Yes, following it. Let me take a look at YM just to see. Yeah, YM driving once again lower. Yeah, I guess I'm forcing too much here. Shall we now have the follow through to the downside here? It was a tricky spot. I hope we don't react to the first presented fair value gap and go once again to the upside at this point. So at least pre-market lows should be our one of our targets here. But I don't want to see this happening here. Price closing above and inside the NWOG as well. Yeah. And keep pushing once again. So yes, we'll follow once again. So there was no follow through to the downside here. It's a really odd price action. Yeah. this point, I'm just watching NQ because NQ seems to be the leader. Take another look at YM just to see how it is behaving. Hmm. So yeah, really not liking this price action. Was not expecting this type of behavior on indices. And yeah, we'll have to probably close this one as well. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just close this. Not worth it to try to short a market that wants to go higher. It clearly wants to go higher, so we retraced to the first presented fair value gap, and we are just accumulating here. NQ pushing to the upside as well. So guess I'm wrong with my bias, and price just wants to push higher from here. It will probably leave liquidity behind. Will probably take my last shot here. See how far we can go from here. So price coming into all these PD arrays, and all these PD arrays are being inverted as bullish ones. So far, an ugly price action, honestly. This point, I'm not sure if my stop will hold here. Let's see if price is doing a lot of damage. below this fair value gap with those wicks. Let's see if we will start to move a little bit higher now. But yeah, I guess I was caught inside this mess today. I really was caught here. Campus traders, if you take your stop, wait price to go first presented to buy, price accumulating. Yeah, I can see it is accumulating. And I can feel that price wants to go for my stop before heading higher. But honestly, I cannot give much more room. I'm already in drawdown. So well, NQ is the leader now. Almost doing another low, another high. But yes, is now falling back. Yeah. Well, yeah, it will not work. My stop will get hit here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so far 2 hour loss. Back to break even on the account. So not a good day. This mess really caught me. And right now, I guess there's not much I can do. So price went for the first presented fair value once again. And it seems like the original idea for a move lower is now developing, seems like. Last one. Let's see if this is the move lower that we were seeking for. Open London. Yeah, but even like this, I'm not sure. Yeah, YM really gave us that follow through that we wanted. But yes, never gave it to us. So far, a nice reaction here, trying to invert the first presented fair value gap. Price was not able to close above the midpoint. Let's see if we will have some follow through following. So the idea was kind of right, but I guess I was deceived by price action. It really behaved in an odd way here, kind of accumulated too much, and I was caught in this accumulation here. So right now it's just a mitigation type of trade, just to try to mitigate some of that loss that we incur with. So price now trying to displace below 830 and 930. At this point I will move my stop loss a little bit lower. There's no point having this large stop loss. So trying to go below the opens. Nice follow through now. Let's see if this down move will somehow hold. I'm expecting eventually midnight open. Usually midnight open is always a magnet on price. So I will try to stretch this as far as I can. Pre-market lows. We have a 1 hour for value gap here as well, but we still have London lows and eventually Asia lows as well. So nice move below pre-market lows. So honestly, it was kind of a shame here. I guess I forced too much my idea. The idea was right, but I kind of forced it a little bit. Nice move to the downside here. So at this point, NQ still has pre-market lows to tap. So I'm expecting a further move down on ES as well. see if price will give us some sort of a follow through here. We are entering a 1 hour fair value gap, but I'm expecting this to be inverted. We will reach for event horizon as well. So this might be the order block. Let's see if we can close below, just to confirm this order block formation here for another move to the downside. So there we go. Move lower here. So at this point, we reach for -2 standard deviation and event horizon as well. Could have pyramid my entry around here, but since I'm already over trading a bit here, I don't want to expose myself to more risk. But was not, if these positions were not taken here, yeah, I probably had added a contract around here. Let's see if we can get some more follow through. Seems like NQ wants to head for pre-market lows. We are reaching for midnight open as well. -2 standard deviation as well. I'm just watching what NQ is doing. Still has some liquidity below. And we are just some handles away from London lows as well. See if NQ has some willingness to go a little bit lower. Yeah, we'll have to take some partials here. And probably stretch my TP to the NWOG, which is the next point, acting as a magnet on price, I believe. So at this point, I will move my stop to break even here. And just let's see how far we can go here. Most important is that the loss is almost mitigated. So there we go, more follow through here. At this point, I believe Asia lows will get hit, probably. So we hit London lows. The London lows are still open on NQ. So notice how price is respecting pre-market lows. We formed the order block right away here. Then we went and we kind of inverted the 1 hour for rally gap, the one that I was telling you guys that I was expecting it to be inverted. We retested it, drove lower once again. So now we are retesting midnight open. So I believe a order block, another order block will be formed around here just to give us that lower and probably the last move to the downside towards -4 standard deviation or that NWOG. So let's see. This is event horizon. Price is trying to reach for event horizon here, which is always a retracement area. It should react to it in a bearish way. So I'm looking here, 10:15 macro to 11:10. I was still hoping for a move lower towards the NWOG, but it seems like price is now reacting in a bullish way inside the macro. Let's see if it can get above this order block here. It should not. Otherwise, it can go all the way up towards the first presented fair value gap once again. And that's what I would not like to see. Let's see if we can get event horizon to be respected. Price closing below the midpoint of this fair value gap for another run lower. So this is the order block. Price now respecting it. We'll add one more here. Since NQ is pushing towards the lower. Yeah, but seems like NQ doesn't want to go for London lows, at least until now. Let's see if we will have a closure below event horizon, below the 1 hour fair value gap. Because at this point we have a move to -2 standard deviation, a retrace inside the silver bullet zone, and this should eventually go a little bit lower. So we kind of respected the order block, so price traded into it and was not able to close above 50% of it. Now I would like to see some willingness to go a little bit lower, while NQ is probably reaching for London lows that are still open. Let's see if we can lose this 1 hour fair value gap. And then we should close below midnight open once again. Yeah, price coming once again inside the first the hourly fair value gap, trying to get a closure once again above event horizon, touching once again the breaker, not the breaker, the order block. Losing once again the order block here, closing below, trying to close below event horizon. So I will give it some more time. But at this point, I would like to see price driving lower, closing below midnight open. This fair value gap, I would like to see it being inverted as well, and not act as a bullish fair value gap. Let's see if we can close below midnight open, just like we did here, closing below event horizon. Let's see if we will have some follow through soon, because NQ is reaching for London lows. Just check. Yeah, it has about more 30 handles to reach London lows. Yeah, it's taking a long time here. But at least I would like to see this low be intact. Let me just see. Let's see if we will have some follow through here to the downside, closing below As a CFD trader, do you think switching to futures is a smart idea? It is, brother. It is. In terms of spread, in terms of slippage, in terms of everything, I believe the futures market is a bit more stable than CFDs. It's a regulated market, not like you're not dependent on what the broker has to offer you. So it's way better, I believe. So let's see if we will have some follow through here. I will probably not stretch it to -4 standard deviation. I'm not sure. I just want to get rid of the drawdown right now. Very thick price action here. Not offering the closure that we would like to see below midnight open. What do you usually trade uh, on CFDs? Because I only trade ES right now, which stands for S&P 500 or SPX. Yeah, not quite liking this. I was expecting a move lower here. Let's see if we can get back inside the inverted fair value gap. I don't want to see price trade above event horizon. Seems like we are now trapped inside, in between, I mean, event horizon and midnight open. Let's see if we can get rid of midnight open. So nice reaction here. Let's see if this is the follow through that we were looking for or not. Because price is now ranging here, and it somehow needs to take some sort of liquidity to move. So, or we take this liquidity out and I'm out of the trade, or we will take this out and let's see. NQ is trying to press a little bit lower, but yes, it's having a hard time to play below midnight open, as you can see, resisting a lot. There we go. So NQ already took London lows, so I'm out of this trade. Out of the trade and drawdown mitigated, because it can happen that price will come once again back inside the range, and I'm not willing to wait for it once again. Even if we go lower, I'm content with this. Well, but yeah, not an easy session, honestly. Not an easy session. Well, let's summarize it a little bit just before ending the stream. I kind of entered with the idea that price was just accumulating and we needed to go to the upside to manipulate price. It could eventually be a lower manipulation as well, but I was expecting a higher manipulation since we had an NWOG right above us and a 1 hour fair value gap as well. So I was expecting, and looking at the projection here on London, it kind of was respected almost to the tick. So we stopped right at -4 standard deviation with this bullish move. So price came to the upside, and it gave us an SMT around here. I tried to short the market once, it didn't work. Then tried to short the market twice around here. It kind of worked for a bit, but as soon as we touched the first presented fair value gap, price came once again to the upside. And then I started to think twice about my bias, and yeah, probably I'm wrong, and eventually price wants to go higher, and tried a long around here, but yeah, I saw that it wouldn't go much higher than what we were expecting around here, so got stopped out. And then when price kind of rejected the midpoint of this first presented fair value gap, I started to believe in my bias once again. And as soon as I saw that price was coming down here once again, yeah, I started to believe once again in my bias, and yeah, just took the short, took the majority of the position out at -2.5 standard deviation, then re-entered here, kind of pyramided around the order block here, and then waited all this time just to be able to mitigate the full loss. So it was a hard session, very hard session for me, because I was caught in this mess here. It's been a while since I've been inside a mess like this, but it can happen, honestly. And yeah, this was the day here. I guess we are accumulating here. I decided to take out the full position around here, and not expecting us to go for the NWOG or -4 standard deviation, or eventually Asia lows, because it's taking too much time to go lower. So um, the bearish move might be ending here around this area. So I'm not taking the risk to wait a little bit more and eventually get stopped out at break even or whatever. So that's why I decided to go out of the full short around here. So yeah, generally speaking, it was a hard session for me. Not the easiest one, um, but I think I forced my bias in the first couple of minutes. I should have waited for price to displace or to go below the first presented fair value gap and not try to short it above it. But it is what it is. Sometimes I think I I tend to miss these moves, so that's why I try to short it as soon as a breaker developed or some sort of a bearish signal developed here, around here. So I was not waiting for um, the first presented fair value gap to get disrespected or yeah, some sort of thing like that. But yeah, I'm glad I managed to turn things around and break even at the day because at some point it was a 2 hour loss, which is not that easy to mitigate, but we did it. And even if price wants to go lower right here, around here, I'm not. I don't. I won't do anything more. So I'm good with it. I'm glad I was able to get out of the session without any type of loss. So, but yeah, it was a hard session. I haven't been in a session like this for a while now. But yeah, I'm not sure if you're still here, DimFX. Um, you were you were asking about the CFDs and if you should eventually um, switch from CFD to the futures market. Yeah, I really advise you to do so. It's the same thing, honestly. It's the same thing, but you won't deal with slippage. You won't deal with, of course, there is some slippage. Not, but it's not that usual as on the CFD markets. The commissions are lower. Um, the price that you see here is everywhere the same. You won't have different prices for in different brokers. So there's only one price on in futures. So for CFDs, it doesn't work like that. The broker is the one that makes you the price of the asset, and yeah, it can change a lot, and you are eventually it can happen that I don't know you're trading. Imagine that you're trading this leg to the upside, and you decide to go I don't know short around here, not around here, but here at this point at 6820.5. Uh, you will open your limit order or your market order just at that price, and on the CFD you will probably get filled around. I'm not sure, but it usually is like that, around here or around here. It all depends on your broker, honestly. But yeah, that's like just like the forex market. It's the same thing. If you try to play the forex market on the 1 minute chart, that's almost impossible because of the um, the commission fluctuations, the spread fluctuations, all of that. So that's why I'm advising you to switch if you can from the CFDs to the futures market. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it for today's action. Not a brilliant session, honestly, but yeah, at least we were able to make a good read on price and mitigate the loss that we started the session with, and end things in a break-even way. So it's better than losing money, especially on a Monday, which can eventually be quite hard for the rest of the week. Um, but yeah, I felt like I overtraded a bit here. Just I was so sure about my bias and about whatever I wanted to see on price that I kind of forced it. But I guess sometimes we mess up. So it's I think it's acceptable that we mess up. I can't be that hard on myself, but um, yeah, should have waited probably a bit more just to give it the confirmation that I wanted and not try to pick the top of the move, which I feel like I was trying to. But yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it, guys. Sometimes we mess up. We just have to take accountability of it, not be too hard on us on ourselves, and do whatever you want, whatever it is needed to just mitigate the loss. Because if you try to go for a win after a lose, you will just end up probably adding to that lose. So it's just like that. It's just like that. So I'm not sure why I'm missing these candles right here, because I had my sell order around here. Um, but I guess Top Step sometimes has these things, especially on their platform. That's why a lot of people try to, or is saying that we should not go for Top Step anymore because they now own the platform and they can do whatever they want for with the platform. But um, somehow I decided to stick with them, and yeah, I I have no honestly I have no second thoughts about it. But let's see. So yeah, guys. Um, I believe tomorrow can be a better day. So I will probably end the stream right here. If you have any more questions, just shoot them in the chat. Don't worry. Just put them in the chat. Just write them down in the chat, and I will try to answer to those questions. But yeah, so far, I guess I was plenty sure about my close here, and I'm glad I closed it around here because I was not willing to wait much more time, just like it is doing right now. Despite I'm quite expecting. Let me just see. Well, at this point, I'm not sure if I'm expecting price to go lower because NQ already took London lows, so we might end up going to the upside. We are now just accumulating, but honestly, I would like to see just a just a minor touch on the NWOG, which is this shaded area. And if we look at the opening range gap that I was watching as well, let me just check where we are in terms of retrace on the opening range gap. So opening range gap quarters, yeah, we are kind of rejecting the first quadrant. We are playing below it and wicking above it. So we will probably move towards the midpoint, which is the NWOG as well. So, but I'm not willing to play this anymore. I will just close the store for now and hoping to that tomorrow will be a better day. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being there. Those who interacted, thank you very much, Pablo, Campus Trailer, Zim FX, on the Red platform and on the other platforms as well. Thank you for being there. Thank you very much for your participation and for making the company that we need as a trader. And yeah, I hope to see you tomorrow once again. And have a nice day. Stay safe. And yeah, tomorrow, Tuesday, 9:15 or 9:15, 9:20 New York local time. We will be there. So stay tuned. Thank you very much and have a nice day.